What is the best way to lead generation or increase your visibility for 2023? Find out on this episode of Authentic Selling TV. Oh, my. Oh, heck yes. You got to keep up with that lead generation. But you can do it in your party dress. Tom Petty literally is like, what are you doing to my song? So lead generation is a little bit of the bane of all businesses' existence. But I don't know if it's more true with any other industry than the coaching and consultant and course creator world. Somewhere, somehow, we all got this idea that lead generation was a one and done activity. You remember this, right? You put up an opt-in and people are just going to find your website and opt in, and you're going to have their email address, and then you're going to send out like this really cool flash sale email, and bam, you're a millionaire. You did it. Yay! Like I said, oh my, oh heck yes. Well, after about, I don't know, 3-4 months of that, maybe a year of that, we start to realize that's not how this works. And I will tell you, it doesn't matter if you have been in business 1 month or if you have been in business for 12 years like me or longer, lead generation is never a one and done activity. Here's why. Somebody who was a lead 12 years ago may or may not be a lead today. A lot happens in 12 years. If you only get 100 people that you can market to, then you are going to exhaust your marketing and selling capital. You can only sell so much before people are like, what the heck? I need a break. And maybe all those 100 people buy from you and continue to buy from you because maybe you've got a really amazing product, but at some point, they're going to stop. Now, there are some exceptions to this. iPhones right now are an exception. It's got the hold on the market. It has forever. At some point, I'm anxious to see what it is too. Something else will come along and it'll be like, hey, remember when we had Apple phones? It will happen, right? Like Swatch watches. I'm dating myself. Does anybody remember a Swatch watch? When I was in 7th grade, oh my gosh, you'd have the Swatch watch and you would switch with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. But I was redheaded, awkward, and ridiculously skinny, like painful skinny with these really knobby knees. And so what I'm telling you is, well, what I'm trying to do here is justify why no one wanted to be my boyfriend. All my friends got flowers on Valentine's Day. Okay, wait, stop. Confession time. This should have been our Valentine's Day episode because in the 8th grade, I sent myself flowers. All of my friends were getting flowers from their boyfriends and their parents. And I was the kid. And it felt like I was the only kid in the entire school, which I'm sure is not true, but that's how I remember it. Walking out without flowers. I was mortified. Again, y'all, I was 13. So, I was so awkward. I had this really long hair, like down to here, because I would hide behind my hair. And flaming red, so pale, so skinny, big knobby knees. I mean, it was a look. And so I sent myself flowers. And I didn't know who to sign on the card, but this is going to get so bad, what I'm about to tell you. So I was in love with Joe McIntyre from New Kids on the Block. And I knew nobody would believe that Joe McIntyre sent me flowers because, come on. So I just signed it Joe. Like, I didn't even put from your parents. And everybody's like, who's Joe? I'm like, I don't know, not me. So, yeah. Wow, what was that? Swatch watches. I'm like, how the hell did I get here? Swatch watches. So remember Swatch watches? Those were all the rave. I would have given anything to have somebody want to swap swatches with me. And now I don't even know if they still make Swatch watches. So the point is, even if you got a hold on the market, you need to be acquiring new market share, right? So lead gen is something that never goes away. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, it never goes away. And you may be thinking, oh God, I'm really embarrassed for Kendrick because she sent herself flowers and just told it globally. But you may also be thinking, oh God, I feel kind of sick because I'm always going to have to be prospecting. I'm always going to have to be doing lead gen. And the short answer to that is yes. Somehow, some way, somebody, something has got to be doing lead gen for you. Does it have to be you? No, not necessarily, but somebody or something. When I say something, I mean ads or bots or whatever. Something's got to be doing lead gen. So I did a little research and I read all kinds of data and all kinds of studies. And I looked at what are the top 3 for online businesses. What are the top 3 lead generation strategies for 2023? And I bet you're going to be surprised by these, because one of the things that I hear a lot of time from people who have run really successful launches in the past in this industry, one of the questions that they ask is, does email marketing still work? Do webinars still convert? Is content marketing dead? You know, back in the early 2010s, early 2010s, people would say, content is king, content is king. And then we got all like, oh no, it's not king, it's queen. Whatever, content rules, right? And then we've moved on past that to say, it's more about quality versus quantity, which leads me to a really great sales discussion. So, when you are a corporate sales rep, what's this got to do with you? Just wait, you'll see. When you are a corporate rep, you have your quota, right? Whether that's market share or percentage of sales or sales increase or whatever, you have your quota, right? That's your sales goal. But you also have this thing that all corporate sales reps loathe, and that is called your frequency goal. Y'all, I am getting ready to demystify something in the online world for you, so just wait for it. Wait for it. I am going to demystify this for you. It's going to make so much more sense. So when you are selling face-to-face, door-to-door, or corporate selling, you have a frequency goal. And reps hate it. We hate it. We think it's ridiculous. And a frequency goal is just what it sounds like. So let's say that one of my customers or potential customers' name is Jessica. Okay? I would have a frequency goal that my company set that says over a month's time or over a quarter's time, you need to see Jessica 10 times. Okay, well, that's a lot of times to see somebody. Or you might have a weekly, like you will have customers that have a weekly frequency goal. You need to go in and have a sales conversation with them weekly. Okay? Reps know that the quality of the conversation matters, not the quantity, right? But our corporate office always says the quantity matters, the quantity matters, the quantity matters. And we roll our eyes and we're like, no, actually it's the quality. Like I can have one rock solid conversation and that's all I need. So who's right? And what the hell does this have to do with the online world? They're both right. And it's got everything to do with you in the online world. Let me prove it to you. When you have a frequency goal, or we're going to use quality and quantity. When you have a quantity goal, a number of times that you're going to call on Jessica, you increase your likelihood of having a quality conversation. It's impossible to have a quality conversation if you only see them once and they weren't available for one good quality conversation. So one of the reasons that you have a quantity or frequency goal is you increase the likelihood of having that aha quality conversation. The other reason that you have a frequency or quantity goal is to help people remember. I know it sounds awful, right? But to keep you top of mind, just because you have this really great quality, in-depth conversation doesn't mean you've changed habits. As a matter of fact, I believe there's research that suggests it takes 7 to 10 times before a habit is actually changed. And there's research that supports that in selling 7 to 10 times with a message before your buying patterns change. So let's say that you have a frequency or quantity goal of 10. And the first, no, we're not going to do 10. That's way too much. Let's say 4. So much easier. The first time you go by and nobody's there, so you leave Jessica a flyer. The next week you go back and Jessica's there. And you have this great quality conversation about your product, about your service. And now, so that's number 2, right? You still got to hit 2 more for the month. And you're thinking, what the frick am I going to talk about next week? You go back next week and Jessica's like, hey, I just saw you. And you're like, yep, I'm just stopping by to remind you, blah, 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 blah. Then you got to go back again. And Jessica's like, dude, what's up? And you're like, hey, just got one quick question for you. So in that example, you had 1 quality conversation, you had 2 quantity, and 1 time you missed her, right? These go together to make the perfect sales strategy because you are keeping your product, your service top of mind for Jessica in this situation. Okay, so now that you understand that, and that makes sense for corporate or door-to-door selling, what in the wide world of heck does this have to do with the online world? Number 1, content still rules. I don't care what all the experts are telling you out there, and I'm going to give you some data in a minute. If you're not putting out content and you're an online business owner, people are not going to know that you exist. And new people are not going to find you. Content can be anything from advertising in a newspaper, on social media, to going live, to a podcast, to posting on social media. Those are your frequency or your quantity goals. And then your quality conversations are when you get somebody who opts in for a webinar and attends. When somebody actually downloads your freebie and does it. When somebody actually reads one of the 20 emails you send in a month. We need both. We need both. Because every time you are putting out content to hit a frequency goal, to hit a quantity goal, you are increasing the likelihood that somebody somewhere is going to have a quality interaction with that. And the good news is we get to do it thousands of people at a time, globally. With the internet, when you're a face-to-face rep, you do it 1 office at a time, 1 doctor at a time. Or, well, I did it 1 doctor at a time. You might not be calling on doctors. So, according to statistics and according to research, the top 3 ways to lead gen in 2023 are, in this order, email marketing. Does email marketing still work? Yeah, it does. You need to have a quality goal for your email marketing and a quantity goal. And I know there are people out there rolling their eyes saying, I feel like I'm just checking a freaking box. I get it. And we want some consistency there. The second way to market, to lead gen, not market. The second way to lead gen in 2023 that is the highest converting is webinars. Oh my gosh, Kendrick, if I have to do another webinar, I think I'll scream. I'm so tired of doing webinars. Great. This is a great opportunity for you to say, I don't like where webinars are going. How can I do it differently? How can I put my own spin on it? And while you don't necessarily need a quantity goal with webinars, you do need a quantity goal with, I'm going to do a webinar 1 quarter. I'm going to have a great new opt-in 1 quarter. I'm going to teach for free 1 quarter. You need to have something, or I'm going to go live, or I'm going to do this. Like, I don't know how many videos we put out in a year, but I bet there's not anybody who watches them all. I'm hoping that you watch enough to say, well, to have a quality interaction with me and to say, wow, I've never thought about selling like that. I trust her. She's transparent. I believe she can help me get more customers and close more customers. I want to work with her. Does that happen the first time you watch one of my videos? Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. You come back. That's why the quantity matters. Also the algorithm, but not going there. The third way, according to data, to lead gen in 2023 that is the most effective is content. I want to really quickly look at these three things. Email marketing has a quantity goal and a quality goal to it. You should email your people at least once a week. Webinars probably have a quality goal, right? Like if you're going to spend your time teaching, let's do it really solid. Let's make sure people have a really positive interaction there. And then content. That can be social media content. That can be speaking in front of people. That can be going live. And we're going to do quantity and quality for that. Where we mess this up online is we think that opt-ins or lead generation is one and done. And if I'm really thinking about this correctly, actually, where corporate sales reps mess this up is they get all in their head about, I don't want to be annoying. I was just here. I had a really good conversation with such and such. I don't know what to say. Great. I can tell you what to say. That'd be a great video. Y'all think that would be a good video? I'm legitimately like just had this idea, so I'm kind of going off, but I think it would be a great video to say, how do we do quantity content that's effective? Whether you're a corporate sales rep and you're just checking back in, or whether it's like what the heck to post on social so that it's quantity content that matters or makes a difference. Y'all let me know in the comments if you want that video. But before you do, remember, the top 3 ways, according to tons of research, to lead gen in 2023 are email marketing, webinars, and content. And you should never stop doing lead gen, ever. Because when you do, your business is on a cycle where it's going to run stagnant. You are going to have if you stop lead gen, it may not happen this year, but you are going to meet a downturn of sales. And I hate to tell you, but quantity has its place. It's not a check the box thing. There is a reason that corporate America pays sales reps $100,000 to go in and call on doctors or their people 7 times. No, they know they're not having 7 quality conversations. That's not the point. So quality and quantity. Let me know in the comments if you want to know how to do quantity effectively, whether you're a corporate sales rep or whether you're an online business owner. But before you do that, ring that bell. Ring that bell. Oh, yeah. And I believe in you, and I believe in your business. Bye, y'all.